She began threatening to post about me online, and even began attempting to blackmail me into having sex with her again. We don't have to do damage to each other. We don't have to cause each other any more anguish.
I'm gonna make it hard for you to ever be in a relationship. I just want to see you again.
If you care enough to make this a big public fiasco that you care so much about, but then you also don't care enough to make this a legal matter, if he was recording you without your consent, that's a crime. You should make that a legal matter if you care so much about it. Because false reporting is illegal? Well, no shit, right? Because it would be a false report. I'm sure by now you've seen the video, but I gotta give my boy his victory lap, because when these crazy bitches come at you saying that you've done some horrible things and people believe them without any evidence and proof, and then you drop a 40-minute bombshell putting them all in their place, putting the women in their place, putting the people who blindly believe the women in their place, you get your victory lap, right? And listen, Tom has been my friend for the longest time. He's a great guy. And when I saw this all happening, I was on my break, so I didn't cover it. But I had to ask him, like, how much of this is legit? Because obviously I don't see your entire life. And, you know, even if some of it's bad, I'm sure a lot of it gets exaggerated. But how much of this is real? And he's like, listen, bro, you got to believe me when I say these women are fucking crazy. And I know the kind of girls that he's into, because I'm into them as well. The crazy, emo, goth bitches that will ruin your life. Shocker, they actually ruin your life, you know? So I love Turkey Tom. Let's be honest, if you've seen this video, this was like an S-tier response, right? I mean, everything got debunked. I'm sure by now you've seen this, but we're gonna watch this. Turkey Tom's response to the allegations.
I'm sorry that this response took so long. I wanted to make sure I had all the facts together before saying anything. Recently, I've been accused by an ex-girlfriend, along with an ex-partner, of non-consensually filming sexual encounters.
Ex-partner? He was dating dudes?
Being so rough and inconsiderate during sexual encounters that it bordered on assault, encouraging eating disorders, being into age play, along with a litany of other completely baseless, false accusations.
Right.
The two women who are accusing me, Sacramento 89, real name Rowan, and Left 4 Dead, real name Katie, took to gossip forum Kiwi Farms to post the accusations, along with carefully cherry-picked screenshots to back up their claims.
This is the problem, is when you are into women who visibly look like they will ruin your life, they will actually go and ruin your life after things end with you guys, because they will never not end. These are not the women that you will marry, okay? As much as I wish it were true that the Pinterest girls who look like hyper alternative would be the one that I could settle down with, it's just not how the world works, okay? They look this way and dress this way because they yearn for attention, because they are mentally ill. And the mental illness is something that they make your problem sooner or later.
These claims aren't super difficult to debunk just because of the overwhelming amount of evidence I have on my side. So without further ado, let's start with Sacramento or Rowan. This is a girl I dated for about 7 months, from May of 2025 until January 10th of 2026. 4 days later, she made her first post. Here, she alleges that I am a real freak and like to, quote, record sexual encounters without asking for consent. This is blatantly untrue. I have never recorded any sexual encounter without explicit consent. As a matter of fact, with Rowan, she was the one who initiated the idea of filming sex acts in the first place.
Shocker, dude. What a shocker. You should get those meta glasses when you crack me. For what? Cracking time. Cracking time. Yep. Good night, Tom. Good night, Rowan. Sweet dreams. You too, Tom. Don't let the bed bugs bite. So she just asks on August 19th for him to get meta glasses for when they fuck. That's pretty specific. I don't know. What's the other interpretation for this, right? Just to have them on? Just to have the meta glasses on because they look cool? Is it because they look like futuristic technology? No, because you want them to film you. This is pretty obvious. I don't know. Again, like, we're talking about women who are visibly fucking freak shows, right? So I feel like this isn't a shocker whatsoever. But, I mean, the meta glasses? She into that POV stuff, huh?
Tuesday, August 19th, after 3 months of
Please
knowing
don't read them. Well, this is the issue, is that they kind of invited all of this when they made their initial allegations, right? So if you're uncomfortable, you have to imagine how uncomfortable this poor guy was when he couldn't say anything for like 2 weeks after these women came out with their like allegations. He was forced into silence before he could compile everything and make an in-depth response. So I felt horrible for him, right? Like, you basically have to, you know, deal with 2 weeks of the entire internet making narratives against you and forming conclusions while you can't say a fucking peep until you have everything in one place to respond with. And I felt awful for him. I mean, like, Turkey Tom is a guy who, since he was like 16 years old, had all his information out on the internet, right? So he he's 19 years old. He's getting doxxed. You know, he's 22. Everything about him is on the internet. So he's very vulnerable to, you know, crazy people taking advantage of him, right? I felt bad for him when this happened because I know that this is just something that he's been having to deal with in some way or another for his entire life. Because his entire life, his entire, like, you know, teenage to adult life has been on the internet.
And being sexually active. Rowan texted me saying, "You should get those Meta glasses when you crack me." I responded by saying, "For what?" And she answers again, "Cracking time," alluding to me filming her with the glasses onboard camera. Now, at the time, I did not feed into this. I did not show enthusiasm. I didn't even agree to get the glasses. I just responded and said, "Good night, sweet dreams." So one whole week goes by without us talking about it whatsoever. And then on August 25th, Rowan texts me saying, "You should get those Meta things for real." So I respond by saying, "I think I'm going to avoid filming anything involving sex for a while," showing that I am clearly not the person interested in filming our sexual encounters. She is. As you can see in the text, even when I say I don't want to film us having sex, she pushes the issue.
It's hilarious. This guy sold shirts that say "never goon," but he only dates women that insist he make porn of them so they can goon to it. Like, I mean, listen, I guess it's something like opposites attract or something. Every virgin needs his goonette.
Now, to be clear, we did eventually take videos of ourselves being intimate, but I was given explicit consent every single time. And on a few occasions, she even took the phone out of my hand and was holding it while filming us. To be clear, there was never a tripod or a hidden camera. It was always handheld, and in every single video, she was clearly aware of the camera, making eye contact with the camera lens. Also, on September 8th, Rowan texts me, "I do miss it though," in regards to our sexual interactions. She follows it up by saying, "Send the videos." Keep in mind, these are videos that she claims in present day were taken without her consent. She then goes on to say, and I quote, "I will watch them and keep them close to my heart."
So this is the thing she's accusing him of doing when she literally
then goes
says,
on to say, and I quote, "I will watch them and keep them close to
how would it make sense he did this without her consent while she's begging for the content? Isn't that a little conflicting?
my heart," clearly indicating she has no...
These are so evil, fucked up, and wrong, and I do not give him permission to make these videos, but can you please send them to me so I can jerk off to them later? Okay. So I can flick the bean to this sexy video that I so didn't want to exist. These bitches are insane. These bitches are fucking insane. Holy shit, man. I'm gonna be honest, like, you gotta be careful with who you're fucking. You know, like, you stick your dick in crazy, and then all of a sudden you're dealing with shit like this, man. I feel bad. Justice for Turkey.
problem whatsoever with them existing. I'm an extremely paranoid person when it comes to my personal life and my sex life and my dating life. As a public figure, I just like to keep my private life private. So I was very hesitant to send Rowan any sexual videos we had taken. However...
Yeah, I feel so bad for a lot of people. Like, okay, so the thing with being a creator is you can be paranoid to an extent that if you were a normal person would get you institutionalized, but because you actually have that fear and it's justified, then people just say it comes with the territory. So like, for example, okay, if you lock your door 5 times because you think someone's gonna break into your house, most people would say that's overkill because you already locked it once, you're gonna be fine. But if you're a content creator and your information's out there and you know that people hate you, it's actually really not. Like, it's proportionate to the actual risk that's out there, you know?
I did send her one single still image from one of the videos where my face is obscured. I guess there was some lingering thought in the back of my mind that if her accounts were not locked down super well, and if she had been hacked, then the videos could have been made public. Now, there's an implication she makes a few different times that I'm basically blackmailing her with these videos.
Somebody asked if you had any intention of getting any sort of like law enforcement involved, but I feel like you answered this where you just want to try to compel him to delete whatever he has on you, and that's like the like the extent of your interest.
Yeah. And if he doesn't, I don't know. I'm kind of confused about what to do, but we'll see.
At no point anywhere did Rowan provide any proof of me threatening to release these videos of us having sex, or threatening to send them anywhere. So
she doesn't even sound like she cares, like, at all. Listen to this.
You just want to try to compel him to delete whatever he has on you, and that's like the like the extent of your interest.
Yeah.
That's the extent of her interest, is like kind of maybe getting him to delete the videos. I thought this was a huge deal. Like, why wouldn't you get law enforcement involved? You know, if you cared enough to make this a public point, then I feel like you should care enough to get the police involved, right? You know, or is it really not something you care about? You know, because this is kind of what we're getting to, is like, if you care enough to make this a big public fiasco that you care so much about, but then you also don't care enough to make this a legal matter. If he was recording you without your consent, that's a crime, right? You know, you should make that a legal matter if you care so much about it. Because false reporting is illegal? Well, no shit, right? Because it would be a false report. But you would think that when she comes out and makes this statement that she would at least try to like make it believable by lying and saying she was considering legal action but doesn't know how to do it, or, you know, she's afraid of the cost and repercussions and stuff like that. There should be some excuse at least, but you can't just say, yeah, I don't know, I'm probably not going to do anything legally about it.
And if he doesn't, I don't know. I'm kind of confused about what to do, but we'll see.
At no point anywhere did Rowan provide any proof of me threatening to release these videos of us having sex, or threatening to send them anywhere. So she has no reason to believe that I would ever release them. The idea that I, a person who makes a living as a public figure, would publicly release videos of me fucking my ex-girlfriend to get back at her is so insane. Not only would that incur reputational harm.
Well, he's also, I don't know, I mean, we're going to have to guess that the videos show his penis, would be leaking his penis for the entire internet to see, which generally is not something that people like to do. They don't randomly like having their penis shown on the internet. So assuming that he's part of the group of people who don't like having their penis shown on the internet, he wouldn't like having his penis shown on the internet.
Beyond belief, but also serious legal consequences.
Right.
The only person who has ever sent an image of us having sex to anyone is, ironically, Rowan. Days after I broke up with her, she, without my consent, sent the only image she has of us having sex to the owner of Kiwi Farms. Here, listen to him describe it.
Oh, and one other thing, I forgot about this, but you actually, Sacramento had sent me a picture that was like censored. Apparently the only picture that he would send you is one where his face isn't clearly visible in it, but you can, I can tell the desk, like his computer is moved onto the table, but I can still see like the monster is like on the cozy that's like on the table, like in the exact same position. So I can tell that's clearly his desk.
I guess I just find it ironic that someone who's accusing me of blackmailing her with her nudes literally sent a picture of us having sex to a man that she has never met.
Yeah,
now, Josh
what? So you're so afraid that you want him to delete this stuff because you're afraid he'll send it around, but you go and send it around? I mean, this stuff is so easy to debunk. I mean, if you're him, this has to be like a fucking victory lap right now, right? Identifying Tom by Monster Energy drink is crazy work. Well, it is sort of his signature thing, right? But everything she says she's concerned about happening because he has videos of them having sex is something that she makes a problem for herself, right? Like, what?
Seeing this image and talks about how hard it looks like I was grabbing Rowan on the mouth.
Okay.
Essentially using it as evidence to support another claim she makes that I'm too rough during sex, which I find very interesting because after I sent Rowan this photo, she texted me saying, I like when you cover my mouth like that. Again, she texts me asking me to send her the videos, and she says, yeah, whenever you're not locked in, send the videos. It will fix me for about a week. Goon sesh. This is clear evidence that she has no problem with these videos existing. To this day, she has provided zero proof that the videos were recorded non-consensually, or that I was blackmailing her with them, or that I had any intention of sending them to anyone. Reason being, I never did any of those things. In Rowan's interview, she claims that I never asked for consent to film these sex acts, and says that she wouldn't notice I was filming until 30 seconds to 1 minute into it.
I'm not sure of an exact date, but maybe like 2 or 3 months into our relationship, he never asked me. He would just pull out his phone and record, and I wouldn't notice until maybe 30 seconds in a minute or a minute into it.
Now, I obviously can't and would never show these videos to anyone, but
this is maybe a smaller thing, but how do you not notice that? Like, you have to like pull your phone out of your non-existent pocket because you're not wearing pants. So no, I mean, okay, so you grab your phone mid-fuck, right? You have to hold it. How do you not know? I'm sorry, how do you not notice that? Does Tom just hold his phone? Is he just playing Subway Surfers like while you're fucking so you don't notice when you switch to the camera app? This is just not believable, like, at all.
In them,
And then with everything else we know, I mean, this is not even close to believable.
it's undeniable that she is staring directly into the camera.
Unless you're full-on deviant, sex videos are kind of mutually assured destruction. Yeah, I guess unless you're married for 20 years.
From the moment the video
And not a public figure.
starts. She never once questions why I'm filming or what I'm doing, because the reality is that
She knew.
every single time we recorded,
of course.
I had explicit permission.
Yeah, dude. Oh, Jesus. And people literally ran with this. He was filming her without consent. If you ever said, I don't know, I really don't know who was making these claims. I know that they had to be somewhat believed because I go to check his channel to see how he's doing, and I see he's getting bombarded with dislikes. So there was at least some culprit, some person smearing him, trying to make him look bad off of these claims, right? If you were a person who did that, you need to fucking apologize and give this guy like 10 bans at least for his troubles, and delete your channel while you're at it. I don't know who did this. I legit didn't look, but I'm telling you, bro, this is fucked. Yeah.
How could she possibly have never consented to filming when she's literally holding my phone next to her face as she sucks my dick? In the interview, she says that what really concerns her is that I wouldn't send her any of the sexual videos we took.
Is that what happened in one of the videos? All right.
Asked him multiple times if he could please send me the videos, so like he's not the only one who has videos of me naked, and he
That's why.
either ignored.
That's why you wanted them. So, he's not the only one in possession of them. Definitely not because you just wanted to goon to them by your own admission when you didn't think this would go public. What are you saying? Dude, this video is just an advertisement for his dick? Yeah, I've pre-watched this, and we'll get to it later. From what I understand, this guy fucks like a beast. The women are sad that, I guess, he's not with them anymore. They're bitter because of the breakup, or like, I don't know. He didn't really seem to be all too into these women. He just kind of fucked. I guess I don't know the full extent of the relationship, but from the text, it looks like the girls are way more into him than he is into them. And I guess they're just salty, trying to throw together some accusation out of a bunch of random things to take this guy down. But like I said, he's getting his victory lap here.
Ignored the question or was just like, no.
As I said earlier, I was paranoid to send these videos to anyone, even her, for fear of them leaking. Weirdly, in messages at the time, she seems to actually get it, saying, I want to see them videos, goon time, before following up by saying that she actually understands why I'm scared to send them to her. Now we're going to fast forward to October 17th in our text.
Because, yeah, who has more to lose by the videos going out? This random girl who nobody knows, or Turkey Tom with 1.6 million subscribers? This makes perfect sense, right? Yeah, I'm paranoid, sorry. So when she says, I wanted the videos so that he wasn't the only one who had them, well, you have to ask yourself, who's more vulnerable with, possession of the video, you or him? Well, obviously, he's more vulnerable if you have it.
Really understands.
He doesn't know. You could just send it to some random person, which you did. So
why I'm scared to send them to her. Now we're going to fast forward to October 17th in our text, and Rowan says, do you ever go back and watch our videos? And I reply, yes, I do sometimes, actually. Rowan responds that she's thinking about that right now, and then says, quote, need that big white cock. It's also kind of strange to me that at the time she referred to them
be honest, he just wanted to say that
as our videos, but in the present, she's claiming she doesn't even want them to exist. On November 6th, Rowan asked me why I never ask her for nudes. I say I have a bunch of videos already, and that's why. She does not express that she has a problem with me having the videos. She doesn't complain about it. She doesn't say they were taken without her consent. In fact, throughout the entire relationship,
I wonder if that's why he's so nonchalant in the text, because he has all this gooning material of the chick, so now he basically has rendered her obsolete. He's like, I don't even have to ask you for nudes. I just I just jerk off to the videos we made. Very smart tactic. Very genius. I like this one because you'll never simp. You will never simp if you just have a video to go back to. This is genius. This is the only time I will support sex work. I think he's just genuinely less invested in their relationship. Yeah, probably. These girls get very, they say like the brighter the flame, the quicker it burns out or something. So with a lot of these insaniac girls, you'll be really into them for like 5 minutes, like a week or a month, right? And then when the honeymoon period ends, you're like, okay, I don't need this in my life at all. And so, yeah, probably. I'm sure it's a mix of both.
Complain about it. She doesn't say they were taken without her consent. In fact, throughout the entire relationship, she was sending me nude photos of herself unsolicited every single month. Why would you send nude photos of yourself to someone you think could use them again?
This is literally the how it feels to be a sensitive young man in a world of evil women. This is that meme materialized.
To you. Rowan personally posted dozens of screenshots of our texts, and not a single one shows her bringing up any of the videos being non-consensual. Another interesting fact is that during our breakup, she texted me a pros and cons list, which she apparently had written.
What the hell is this? Oh my gosh, is this Tom's red and green flags? I want to look at a few of this. So he follows OF girls when I asked him to stop. No romance. Doesn't seem to want to support me at all in the future. Seems like he still feels some way about his ex. Every time I bring up a valid concerns, he says, I'm nice to you though. Stop complaining. Sent dick pics to Belle Delphine copycat before. Aren't you also kind of a Belle Delphine copycat? Like, I swear all these girls just copy Belle Delphine with their aesthetic. Looks up to Sam Hyde unironically. Okay, I don't know why is this in the red flags category? Seems kind of self-obsessed. Doesn't ever talk about us, just him. Doesn't really seem to care about my goals at all. Everything is all about him. I do the bare minimum. All right, whatever. Pros. All right, let's see the pros. Sweet sometimes. Dates are nice. Tries to make it work. Funny. Pays for meals. Makes me feel secure. Muscles. And the cons list is that long. Chopped in the face and thinks we're matched on looks. What? That's so fucked. Oh, man. Isn't that, I mean, this kind of... If we're looking at her, assessment of his looks as he's kind of chopped in the face, this kind of disproves looks maxing a little bit. If you're like status haloed and you got a good body, I guess it doesn't matter, right? I think Turkey Tom's a cutie patootie. Look at his eyelashes.
About me on January 4th of 2026.
We're going full homo here, ready?
And
he's got some beautiful Mager tier thick eyelashes, okay? He's a beautiful boy, this Turkey Tom.
the con section, she complains about a lot of things, but she doesn't mention non-consensual videos whatsoever.
Yeah, you'd think for making an entire document where you list out the pros and cons, in the cons section, if you're going to put all the things you have a problem with, some are pretty personal, to be honest. You're not going to write, yeah, he fucks me on camera without my consent. Interesting one to omit.
With that out of the way, we can move on to Rowan's claim that I was sexually abusive towards her. In that same
also, if I was sent a document like that by a girl I was dating, I would break up with her on the spot. Like, you understand how absurd that is? Why would she send this to him? Here's the pros and cons of dating you, and it's all cons? Fuck you, bitch! Get this off my screen!
Pros and cons list, Rowan wrote, says he likes hurting me during sex and making me bleed. This also reflects her public claims about me, but the great irony is that I never even said this. She did. On September 14th, 2025, Rowan sent me a text saying,
also, he's ugly in the face, but we mog? Stop using this word, bruh. Women, stop. Women, this is our word. Mog? You don't know what even looks maxing is. This is for the boys. Stop appropriating my culture, damn it. Looks up to Sam Hyde unironically. You used mog unironically.
Such a freak. I like when it hurts and bleeds after. Something wrong. In one of her public-facing posts about me, she posts an interaction which reads as follows. She says, quote, like, we don't need to do it 3 times in one day, or do it so hard I hurt and bleed. And I said, well, if you don't want to have as much sex, we don't gotta. We can do other things. And she says, okay, I like doing other things too. The way this screenshot is cropped, it comes across like I'm some, just super callous freak who's brutally jackhammering her vagina like Steve mining diamonds. But in the full uncropped screenshot, her immediate response to me after that is, I'm a freak, I say this, and as soon as I see you, I'm going to be freaky again. I can't resist. In the interview, she elaborates on this even more.
Okay, so this was the cropped screenshot. Wait, what is this? That first one was from Tinder, but I guess she's saying the same thing. Oh, no, this is the original. Okay. Yeah, we don't need to do it so hard that I bleed. We can do other things. I like doing other things. And then she goes, no, but I still want to fuck. I want to be freaky. Okay.
Her immediate...
So she's just projecting.
Response to me after that is... I'm a freak. I say this, and as soon as I see you, I'm going to be freaky again. I can't resist. In the interview, she elaborates on this even more.
Women be like, stop doing this thing. Okay, I'll stop. No, please keep doing this thing. You literally can't win.
Specifically claiming that she would bleed almost every time we had sex.
Okay, and you would bleed
yes.
same? And you didn't stop?
Yeah, I would bleed.
What are we doing, bro? I feel so bad. I'm gonna see this guy probably in like a few months and hang out with him. And it's like, now I gotta, this poor fucking guy, some random woman fucks him. Apparently he fucks like a beast. I might have to fuck him to find out. And it's like, why do I have to know this exists, man? Like, can't you just break up with someone and then just make it your own problem? Jesus.
Most every time.
This is just blatantly untrue as well, and it's easy to see by going through our text messages. On August 17th of 2025, the day after my birthday, Rowan and I were
Brutal.
planning to go to Mass, and she wanted to have sex with me. So she texted me saying, Tom, I started my period. I was driving, so I couldn't say much, but I replied by saying, that sucks, I'm 40 minutes away. She follows up by asking me if I mind getting my sword bloody, and I say I'll be okay. So if it wasn't already clear, she's
He goes, I'm driving, shut up.
getting my...
This is awesome. This is so cool. Oh, he's so nonchalant.
sword bloody, and I say I'll be okay. So if it wasn't already clear, she's asking me if I'm okay with getting blood on my dick. Why would this be something she's even asking if every time we have sex, I'm making her bleed? Keep in mind, this is months into us going out and being sexually active, and she's still worried that the idea of bleeding during sex would gross me out. Now, as soon as she began posting about me, people were naturally perplexed by her claim that she was bleeding from sex every single time. They asked if she had some kind of medical problem, and she says, I have no health issue that I know of, never bled during sex before. It was the aggression. Just gave into it after a while and told him I liked it, but
Why did people respond to this with the Islam logo?
I bled after almost every single time. I feel like most of this statement has already been dispelled, but
Yeah.
even the smallest detail of no medical condition that I know of is also false. On September 24th of 2025, Rowan texted me saying that she's going to switch from her current birth control, Nexplanon, to the pill because she has month-long periods that cause her to bleed. So
this whole thing about not having a medical condition is also not true. How many lies are we on now? What's the lie counter at, chat?
regardless of sex, Rowan admittedly bleeds for an entire month at a time. One of Rowan's main criticisms is
That's
that
not-
I'm
that
too
can't be
rough.
good.
In fact, she describes our sexual interactions as intense, violent aggression every single time.
I genuinely did think that he would maybe change and stop
She loves that shit, though.
being so aggressive.
What?
Because he told me before that he would like kind of chill out, but he never did chill out, and it kept being the same very intense, violent aggression every single time.
That was so fucking mortifying. You wanted videos of it. That was so fucking mortifying that even after when you asked him to stop, 5 minutes later you asked him to do it again.
She also alleges that I hit, choked, and beat her without
So
asking,
what a retard.
essentially painting me as an abusive partner.
Unfortunately, I did still stay with him, and I know a lot of people seem to have a lot of questions about that, and honestly, you were completely correct to question my judgment as to why I stayed with him, even though he was, hitting and choking and beating me.
There's this idea she's trying to paint that in the relationship, I was constantly pushing this rough, violative sex onto her, and even though she didn't like it and was being abused, she stayed with me. I've seen some people question her saying things like, well, if you hated it, why didn't you just leave? But realistically, sometimes people do stay with abusive partners, and I don't want to invalidate their stories through my response. The real reason that she didn't leave is because she loved having sex with me, and throughout our entire relationship was constantly begging me to validate her fantasies. In this first screenshot here, she expresses that she is a real freak and says that she wants me to kidnap her, even saying,
That's actually such a great response. So it's true, if you're in an abusive relationship, sometimes you might not leave because you're afraid of what would happen. She didn't want to leave because she fucking loved it, apparently. I mean,
I want to be tied up, taken to the woods,
All right,
and
I mean-
pounded. So maybe there's something wrong with me. I respond by saying that we should not have sex in the woods, and she says, you nervous? Right here in this next one,
Dude.
Rowan says, I yearn to be manhandled and led across a dark room.
Bro.
That's why I like you. I reply saying, you are like a dungeon person, and she says, you are big like a caveman and I feel small next to you. In fact,
Nice.
anytime I wanted to have more loving,
did he just compare himself to the Crudes? All right, bro, you're not even like 250 pounds. This is so LARP.
you are big like a caveman and I feel small next to you. In fact, anytime I wanted to have more loving, slow, I guess sensual intercourse with Rowan in the bedroom, she actually had a problem with that. I remember one specific instance where I was being more slow and sensual, and I remember her whispering in my ear saying, I want you to pound me. And that's probably why on June 5th, 2025,
I don't think these women would have ever imagined that when a response video like this gets made, the only thing that will happen is that thousands of women who would have never even considered reaching out to Turkey Tom are now going to lust for him in a way you've never seen before in his DMs. His DMs are going to be filled to the brim with horny women 5 miles away, like a Pornhub ad. They know he's sensual. They know he fucks like a beast. I mean, this is crazy.
she texted me
You just created a million Turkey Toms.
He's saying, I need to get face fucked for an hour. And I replied by saying, damn, exams suck. On June 7th, she texts me and says, I'm excited to get fucked borderline domestic violently. At one point in the interview, she states that one time I was angry at my ex-girlfriend, and that the next time we had sex, I was particularly
This seems just like all those women who read about the werewolf vampire books. You know what I'm talking about? This seems like one of those dark romance sort of things.
aggressive. This is a very strange thing to accuse me of, given that on October 13th, Rowan says verbatim, sometimes I want to fight you just so you be more angry when you fuck me. She clarifies, saying, I do like that though, even without the fighting. So at every opportunity, this girl is publicly saying, oh my god, look at all this horrible shit he did to me. And then she's texting me that she wants me to kidnap her, tie her up, and pound her in the woods. And if anyone is putting up any resistance to that, it's me. She once again lies about weird little things in the interview.
She must have not given the full context of the text exchanges, because if anybody saw the responses, they'd know immediately he wasn't even that into it.
Like she says that I was her second boyfriend.
He was my second boyfriend.
And when I heard this, I was very confused because she told me that I was her third. In my opinion, she said this to make herself seem less sexually experienced than she really is, to make the case stronger that I was taking advantage of her. Now, in this next post, she writes, again, I'm not alleging anything illegal, just that he would hit and choke because he was a super gooner. Sort of normalize it in my head, but it's definitely not okay to do that. So for information on how I supposedly normalize this behavior, let's go back to the beginning of our relationship and see what our conversations about sex were like. On Wednesday, May 14th, after only hanging out with Rowan once, she texted me saying she's excited to hang out with me again, and she already knows my penis is massive, without me saying anything sexual to her at this point.
This is before they even fucked?
You might suspect we did have intercourse on our second date.
Shocker.
And after this first sexual encounter, Rowan texts me saying, quote, rape thing is so hot. I never did that before. You should tie me up next time. My response to this is consensual sex is good. And she says, you know what I meant by that.
Consensual sex is good.
I don't know what to call it.
Sounding like a sex ed PSA.
So from the very first interaction we have, she calls our sex rape for some reason, saying how hot it is, to which I clarify that it was consensual.
Literally
and
has
she
to be
says, I know
projection.
what you mean. And for the record, I never indulged in her fantasy to be tied up, just not something I was interested in any way. And we also never did anything in the woods.
It just seems like a bunch of work. You know, you got to go to Home Depot, get a bunch of rope. Then you have to tie, untie. You know, you have to went to Boy Scouts to learn how to tie a tie. This is not something the average guy is going to be into. It takes too much time.
In case you're curious about that. To hammer this point home, let's go over some more texts where Rowan talks about
Tom messages her like he knew he would be doing this. Well, you got to be careful. I mean, you know, he likes to. I mean, I'm sure offline it was different, but if ever you know that whenever you text someone that they can screenshot it in the future, then yeah, I mean, if you know where it's going, you should be screenshotting stuff
about sex.
You know?
On Friday, May 16th, she texts me asking when I'm free.
Like, I think he knows that the girls he's into are crazy, and so whenever he like is texting them, he seems super dry and not into it, because like if he were overly sharing and putting a bunch of stuff out there, like in the event of an emergency, you know, in the event that this woman does something fucking crazy in the future, all she has to do is go back in the text messages and easily screenshot a bunch of stuff. Like, yeah.
And
I promise he cares more about being canceled and keeping his career than he does about keeping this girl.
Says that she needs my, quote,
He's married
big
to the money.
ah dick. And I say, don't say ah. And she says, it is, and I need it. On May 18th, Rowan says she's not used to being with someone with as big of a dick as mine. She says that it hurt her, but she wants to do it again, and she won't be a pussy about it. Some of her public claims about me are more desperate and weird than others. Like she complains that I didn't eat her out.
Like, he never once ate me out, but he would demand that I would constantly suck his dick.
This guy just keeps getting cooler and cooler.
And, like, yeah.
But here is a text message of me.
I'm not eating shit. Suck it, bitch. I mean, I gotta buy him a beer. He's just flexing at this point, yeah. He got head. He didn't even have to do anything.
Directly telling her, look, I'm a selfish lover. And she says, it's okay. I like sucking dick more than getting eaten out.
He goes, I'm a selfish lover. I like that one. I'm gonna use that one next time. My love language is getting head. I never eat box. I just get head. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I like sucking dick more than getting eaten out. I'm a real freak. And she goes to complain about this?
freak. Despite her acting like I am a like sexual degenerate,
There's no chance this video is getting monetized.
repeatedly doing sex acts she doesn't enjoy. Here she is saying, "You match my freak," kind of. Not "you're too freaky" or "we've been too freaky." She says that I match her freak. Here in this next one, she says, "I'm getting on my knees as soon as I see you, by the way, freak mode." In this next one, I give a little bit of input. I tell her I'm thinking about her pussy. And she responds to me saying, "You gonna tear it up or what?" Now, my question for you in the audience would be, do people who are into slow, romantic, candlelit sex describe intercourse as their pussy getting torn up? I would say probably not. Here in this next one, she says she's going to leave mass early on Sunday to go get some dick. And keep in mind, I don't want to reveal any of this information, okay? I don't want to be saying this. I don't want to be here right now, and I would never intend on sexually shaming an ex-partner. But she's gone out of her way to not only shame me, but also to lie in an effort to paint me as some gooner, freak, borderline rapist. So let's keep going. Here, Rowan makes a post saying that I am a Patrick Bateman gooner because I flexed in the mirror after we had sex. But the strange part about this is that I have a text of her saying, quote, "I keep thinking about how hot it was watching myself take your big dick in the mirror. Gooner as fuck, sorry." Reading through what she
He goes, "It was pretty good, yes."
says about me publicly, it's like every accusation
Jesus,
she makes
dude.
towards me is actually some kind of confession to
Yeah.
her own behavior. On
Yeah, exactly.
June 25th, she texted
I mean, this is the truth of it all. Every single thing she's complained about is something that she's not only okay with actually, but is something that she wants, you know? I want him to eat me out. He never ate me out. When in the text we see it's the exact opposite. I never wanted him to film videos, but then she's begging for the videos. Like, this is literally exactly what he just said. It's completely true.
me wondering if she can give me head after getting her wisdom teeth taken out. She obviously wouldn't be able to do that because it causes your face to swell up like a blimp. And she responds with, "No, I got to do it as much as possible before." Here, Rowan's asking me, "Am I the tightest, most perfect girl you ever fucked?" On July 2nd, she says, "I miss that big dick so much. I'm under spells." On July 5th, I bring up us wearing condoms.
Yeah, I never want to hear that women care about personality ever again. Like, what the fuck is this? Personality and it's his cock.
Rowan says, "Ew, no," and then tells me that she wants me to cream pie.
Did they ever talk about, like, their favorite shows or anything? I wonder if that ever happened. Because this is just like, I want to get fucked. I want to get fucked. Dick, 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 dick. Is it like, women are hornier than men? Like, there's just no way. This has to be proof of something that scientists haven't, studied or concluded yet. I mean, because, like, I kind of knew this was true ever since, like I said, I saw the dark romance section of Barnes & Nobles. And it's just like these minotaurs and these bulls fucking human women. This has to be something, that needs to be investigated on a greater level.
Her.
Okay, from what I'm thinking, there does not appear to be a connection here. What do you mean? Yeah, I mean, she's clearly connected to his dick.
And that she's a real freak. After I say happy birthday, sweetie, for her 21st, she says that all she wants for her birthday is my big white cock. In this next one, she texts me saying, "I miss feeling like I'm going to break in half, not gonna lie." In this next one, she says, "I like when you make me choke on it and call me a good girl." On July 23rd, she says, "Can I come over and suck on it Friday night?" Which I don't accept. I tell her that I'm busy. She
You know what's fucked? He's going to earn revenue from this video that will play into his annual earnings, which he will then have to file taxes on. Any equipment he used in the making of a video where he responds to sexual misconduct allegations will be tax deductible.
then says, "I have the big white cock addiction." Interestingly enough, in this next one, she's asking me if I can have sex with her while holding her in the air, essentially, and tells me that I should try to do it. Once again, a pretty bizarre thing to ask someone to do who allegedly has been abusing you for 3 months by now with overly rough sex. On July 21st, she starts off by texting me, "I hate gooner men," and then not even 1 minute later, she says, "I need that big white cock." On August 23rd, she says, "Whenever I wake up without my morning Tom face fuck, I am sad." On September 2nd, she expresses that she wished she lived closer to me, but if she did, it would be an issue because she would want to come suck my dick all the time. On September 17th, she sends me an Instagram reel of someone praying the rosary. I don't respond, and she follows up by saying, "I miss that dick so
Yeah, you gotta go to confession.
much." Here in this next photo, she sends me a picture of her in lingerie with the caption, "When it's rape time." And after she said that, all I did was respond with a
fine
photo
God.
of the movie Just Friends. On Thursday, September 25th at 7:30.
Is that him?
All I did was respond with a photo of the movie
Oh no, that's Ryan Reynolds.
Just Friends. On Thursday, September 25th at 7:30 a.m., Rowan says, I hope you come. I got something special for our rape times. I say, change that to consensual sexual encounters.
Yeah.
And she says, I know.
Which is what they are.
She expands on this particular message.
That's so funny. He like is so worried about that getting screenshotted that every single time she says it's rape time, he insists that it's consensual. You mean consensual, right? Can you imagine going out like in public with a girl and you're having dinner or something? You ask for the check and then the waiter is like, all right, how was everything? Was the food good? She's like, oh, it was so good. When we're going to get out of here and we're about to have some great rape time. Rape time soon. Thank you for the food, waiter. We're about to go get rape time. The waiter would look at you and immediately, deduce if you were a threat or something and then call the police. Seems like she's trying to bait him, right? Like, I don't know. Every time when the response is, you mean consensual sex, maybe don't keep saying rape time. Yeah, she was like planning since the start. If you're continuing to say rape time after every single correction, it's because you eventually want him to not correct you, right? She's trying to brainwash him. She's trying to get him to start saying rape time. No, we're not doing that. It's not catching on. Stop trying to make it happen. It's not happening. Okay, sounds good. I know it's consensual. Are you mad at me? Are you mad at me is a crazy response to him saying the sex is consensual. It's not rape time? Are you mad? I thought it was rape time.
Are you mad at me? I know
No
it's
way.
consensual. So even as we're approaching...
I know it's consensual. I mean, we would hope
over
so.
4 months of being
Do you
together,
know it's consensual? Because I don't think she's at one point said this was consensual.
she's still telling me that our sex is consensual and that she
Yeah.
likes it. Now that I've gone through a lot of our messages, I think it's pertinent that we get into the month of October. This is the month that Rowan has publicly claimed that there was one specific incident that occurred during which she asked me to stop having sex with her and I did not. To be perfectly clear, this never happened. But just to have some fun, we can go through our text day by day in this month to see which day this horrific incident could have possibly occurred. On October 2nd, she texted me saying, you are perfect. On October 3rd and 4th, we hung out. She asked me if I got home okay, and she says that I am her formal date in her heart. She then says that she hates when anyone comments on her body, even in a positive way, and I tell her that she should eat slop and go for a walk and not worry about it, and that she is beautiful. On October 8th, she continues being sexual, complimenting my arm. She then resends me a meme that says, me if I do not have violent sex very soon. On October 8th, she also says, I miss my handsome husband. Here, I tell her I landed in Texas. She says, I miss sucking on it. She then texts me saying, you got to start putting rape time in your reminders. On October 9th, she says that she wants to hang out. I say I arrived. On October 10th, she says, let me know when you get back safe.
Wait, what is this thing she sent?
Hang out. I say I arrived.
The photo I will send to my future husband while he's at work. He just airs it. Oh, man. I love that.
On
Oh, man.
October 10th, she says, let me know
He
when you get
airs it
back
out.
safe. I always have such a fun time with you. On October 14th, she says she wishes she was waking up to me in the morning. And she then expresses sadness that I'm not moving closer
Amazing.
to the city where she's from to live near her. She then states that her life has improved since meeting me because previously she was partying and going out, and now she spends time with me. On October 15th, she says, I started my period. I wish I could come suck on it. And that evening, she says, I would kill myself if I had to talk to any other man but you. I say, that's true. I'm a nice guy. And she says, yeah, I'm the bad guy. On October 17th, we've already read this, but this is once again where she says, do you ever go back and watch our videos? And I say, yeah, I do sometimes actually. And she responds to me that she's thinking about that right now and says, quote, need that big white cock. In the mirror, you dead ass look like the Hulk compared to me. Now, one thing to note here is that at no point
Why didn't the Crudes image get sent in this one? Was that a different one?
does she express that the videos were taken without her consent. Once again, I just want to have that hammered down here. On October 19th, she texted me saying she needs my milk right now. She then says I miss my perfect jacked boyfriend, and that night
Wait, hardstyle Katy Perry part of me, this shit's so fire. Why didn't he send this to me? Let me take a look. Let's see if this is actually fire. If this is hardstyle for the gym, I need to hear this. Hardstyle. I wonder if this is, let's see if anybody in the comments section was like, I'm here from Turkey Tom response. We got Jim! We got Jim! He sent this to a girl. Yeah, this is a heater. I don't think anyone's going to say they came from the Turkey Tom video, but, or maybe let's, oh my God, dude, that's hilarious. No way. This is called generational impact. Holy fuck. Oh my gosh, dude, that's awesome.
Saying she needs my milk right now.
The
She
what
then says,
edits?
I
The
miss
Hitler
my
edits.
perfect jacked boyfriend, and that night she sends me nudes. At 10 p.m., she sends me a photo of a guy with a clock in his hand and says, I need that dick.
A guy? That's Fortnite.
On October 21st, I sent her a bicep photo. She responds saying, you look good, Tom. I can't wait to suck your dick. She says, I love you. You're a great boyfriend. She then says, you never officially asked me to be your girlfriend, to which I say that we did. On October 23rd, there's proof we hung out that day. She then says, text me when you get home safe, and I say, I made it. She also texted me saying, I love when my bed smells like your musk. On October 24th, she says, good night. You're the best boyfriend ever. October 25th, she sends me a photo of herself in a deer outfit and says, meow, I miss Tom's big white dick. That night, she says, I'm going to send you ass pics tomorrow. On October 26th, we've read this one before, but here she says, next time during our epic rape time, you can tie me up. I say, you mean consensual sex, and she follows it up by saying, you know what I mean, Tom, rough sex. Once again, these are really weird messages to be sending to someone that...
I never heard someone use BWC this much. This is very strange. I figured it was just your big dick. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, he's white. What other color would it be? You know, like, is it RGB? Randomly, it's black. You know, is there night mode? Does he switch it off from light mode to night mode like Discord? Who knows? I've never seen it.
You now claim is sexually
That'd
abusing...
be a cool talent, right? Not something that you could show to everybody, but yeah, you're not gonna say like your beige cock, your flamingo tip.
You on a weekly basis. Now that evening, the evening of October 26th, we can see that I hang out at Rowan's house and I sleep over. Then there's a text that shows that I'm leaving and mentioned that I took my friend to the hospital. On October 27th, she says that she hopes I'm doing well. She loves me so much. On October 30th, she says that we'll be married in 2 years. October 31st at 12:30.
I wonder what his response to that was. I didn't see that.
So much. On October 30th.
We're gonna get married. I'm joking.
She says that we'll be married in 2 years.
He knows.
October
He already
31st at
knows.
12:30 in the morning, she texts me and says, I had a nightmare you broke up with me. Oh my God. She then says that I should cut a hole in my Batman suit for my dick. On October 31st in the afternoon, she says, oh Tom, I yearn for the big white cock. On November 1st at 1:20 a.m., she says, up? No good night? I love you? Yeah, it's fucking over. I tell her that I'm falling asleep, and she says, you was madly in love with her and not me. I'm gonna myself. I tell her,
Wait,
good night,
what?
I'll see you tomorrow. And I then say, do not
that's
say
the
anything
dream?
like that ever again. Now, for a little more context on this specific message and what she's talking about here, during our entire
not the
relationship,
dream?
she was extremely insecure about the fact that before I was with her, I had lived with a girl.
Oh, different girl.
And she
Not an
wanted me to
imaginary
basically
one.
show more commitment in the relationship than I was willing to show, as far as like moving physically closer to her. And at a few points, she suggested that we move in together, and I said, you know, it's just too soon. We're not really ready for that. I don't think that makes sense after dating for just a few months to move in together. So that's the context of this. She would constantly bring up shit and compare herself to my ex or ex-sexual partners in general, but my ex-girlfriend. And I was like, don't say stuff like that. Like, I'm dating you right now. Stop worrying about this. So later on in the night, she texts me saying, mass is needed. I am such a sweet girl and have love in my heart for you. I know this. And this carries into the morning where she says, hi, my sweet love. The next day around noon, she says, sorry for being kind of bitchy. Let me know when you're on your way. I say that I have arrived. We take a photo in our Halloween outfits. And on November 2nd, I say that I made it home. And she says that she hopes that I have a good day.
Cute photo.
So we've now made it through the entire month of October. And there's no indication of any kind of abuse, any kind of mistreatment, or even really anything negative. But almost every single day, she says something about how she loves me, how I'm perfect, how everything is good, and she keeps sending me sexual stuff the entire time without me even asking.
I mean, this is really just she's bitter. I mean, I feel like people want to make things overcomplicated or they want to draw their own unique conclusion. This is a crazy bitch. That's it. Crazy bitch. I don't know if there's anything more to it. Really. I know everyone is so, they want to make themselves sound smart. So just calling someone a crazy bitch, it sounds like they're doing a disservice to their own intelligence because they have so many other ways to make a point. I don't. If it works, it works. She's a crazy bitch. I don't need to make myself sound smarter. I'm not afraid to call someone a crazy bitch if she's a crazy bitch. It's that straightforward. It really is.
At the risk of belaboring the point, I do want to go through a few more messages just for the hell of it, just so I can confidently show that she was extremely sexual the entire time and never expressed any reservations about the sex we were having. On Wednesday, November 5th, out of nowhere, she texts me saying, "I'm trying to make you nut." I just don't respond. On December 12th, she sends me nudes again. Kind of a weird thing to send to someone who apparently has sexual blackmail on you again, is it not? On December 24th, she says that I am a sweetie pie. She's grateful for me. She wants to make me nut again, in her words, and she hopes we're married for a long time.
You can never complain about someone having sexual content of you and then giving them more sexual content. Like, if you have a problem with it, don't make it worse. The house is on fire. Maybe don't, light it on fire even more.
On January 2nd, she sends me a naked photo of herself, again, unprompted. And the morning of January 8th, Rowan texts me saying that before she comes to visit me, she needs to know that my dick is working. Less than 36 hours later, I broke up with her. So as you can see, the texts don't lie. Rowan was blatantly the more sexual one in the relationship. I've produced evidence of this nearly every single week, and she didn't produce any because there isn't any. But apart from the idea that I filmed her without her consent, and apart from the idea that I was a sexually abusive partner, she actually made some other claims as well. So another claim she made is that I encouraged her eating disorder.
Yeah, I told him very early on, like, hey, like, I've struggled with eating issues in the past, and I'm kind of still trying to gain some weight and make sure everything's okay. And he would tell me, "Oh, I love how skinny you are. I like how small you are, like, I love how your body is, like, skinny," and, like, just say all this stuff that was incredibly hard to hear.
I like how skinny
This
you
is
are.
also a pretty serious claim, and if true, would undoubtedly make me a pretty fucked up guy. But it's just not true. Here, I directly discourage her eating disorder, even giving her advice on gaining weight.
I need to gain weight because my doctor said I'm underweight again, and it kind of sucks. I don't know how to go about it because I've been underweight my entire life, probably just eating a whole lot of food and being fuller than you want to be. But that's the game. Yeah, that's how that works, right? You eat food. It sucks because I want to look like a Barbie, but it's not healthy to starve, Max. True, it's very bad for you, so don't. If you eat well and exercise, you'll be toned anyway, so it won't really matter that you put on the weight. Yeah, exactly. Like, if you eat food, but you're exercising, then you look good. Yeah, you're right. You're very skinny right now, so you'll have very good progress right away if you work out. I missed that time. Yeah, that's what every guy says if you don't go to the gym, that, like, the first few months, you'll be making unbelievable gains because your body is undergoing a change it's never gone through, right? So, yeah, that's just a fact, but I don't see anything from this screenshot that was clearly about eating, where he's encouraging an eating disorder. He's actually doing the exact opposite. Real ED girls don't feel bad when the doctor says they're underweight. Yeah, exactly. That's true. Yeah.
And I say...
They view that as, like, a compliment. She's saying that it's like, I don't want to starve, Max, it's not healthy, and he's agreeing. So what's even the problem here? He's, like, saying, yeah, don't starve. Don't have an eating disorder.
Here, I directly discourage her eating disorder, even giving her advice on gaining weight. And I say, starving yourself is very bad for you. In this next screenshot, she says she used to be thick, but she self-nuked. I say, you look the same, more or less. I guess you lost some weight, but I think both are attractive. In this next one, she says that she feels skinny fat. I say I don't agree, and I say that working out is good. In this next one, she sends me an image that says, nothing tastes as good as skinny feels.
That's a sickening image.
I say that's a sickening image. Now, for those who don't know, this is
awesome.
It's like a pro-anorexia slogan, I guess you would call it. Here in this next screenshot, she asked me if I'd still like her if she gained.
I think I've heard a lot of people say that, but I guess I can see why it's popular in that space.
Weight, and I say yes. Here in this next one, I tell her explicitly she should eat more food and drink.
Why does she talk like this? I need to eat Max. What happened to her brain, dude? She's talking about Mog, Barbie Max, Starve Maxing. Like, she talks like a fucking homie, okay? She talks like my boys, Like, I bet you she rips the N-word. It's like, here's the problem, okay? This is the issue. I don't want to date a girl who's like one of my boys, okay? Like, I think guys have this fantasy of dating their, like, best friend with pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that. I don't want to just play Super Smash Bros with my girlfriend and, we just talk all the time about clavicular and looks maxing. Like, I don't know. Did she just say the N-word? I didn't see that. Wait, where did she say it?
And I say yes. Here in this next one,
Where? I don't doubt it, but
I tell her explicitly she should eat more food and drink protein shakes to gain weight, and I also tell her that gaining weight would be healthy for her, as well as saying, I just want you to be healthy. Here in this next one, I tell her that I find her sexy how she is, but that it could be healthy for her to gain 5 to 10 pounds. So this is now 7 instances of me actively discouraging her eating disorder, despite her lying and saying that I was egging it on. Now, one of the other allegations that Rowan has levied towards me is that I'm into age play. She's not alleging that I did it with her, she's alleging that I did it with another girl named Ellie, who I briefly talked to 2 years ago. Now, there's no proof whatsoever that I did anything close to age play, but I did text her about these allegations, and she clearly states that I've never done age play. play. An ex-girlfriend of mine named Kai, who I dated for 3 years, also publicly posted on Twitter saying that I never abused her and that we never did anything related to age play. So this brings the total counter up to 5 people: Rowan, Katie, Ellie, Kai, and another random girl I banged a year ago named Maddie, who for some reason came out in the midst of all of this to post pictures of herself in my house. And all of these people say that I never was into this fetish with them. The closest thing I've ever engaged in when it comes to age play is that sometimes girls do call me daddy during sex. It's a little embarrassing given that I am me. I accept that it's something people are going to see as a little bit strange. All I can really do at this point is accept that it's something that I've done.
Yeah, this is...
And I think that Rowan should...
That's not even age play. Like, it's not like daddy doesn't even mean adult male with child when you're fucking a girl and she calls you daddy.
Should accept it about herself too, given that she also called me daddy during sex and over text repeatedly. In the same vein as this accusation, Rowan stated, "One more thing to add.
Like, if that's age play, then calling a girl princess is monarchy play. It doesn't make any sense."
Thought was odd. Never really expressed any interest in Hello Kitty or that type of e-girl stuff, but I had like one Hello Kitty figure in my car. As a gift, Tom bought me Hello Kitty pajamas and a bunch of Hello Kitty stuff. So Rowan essentially wants you to believe that I'm pushing Hello Kitty onto her as if I have some kind of weird fascination with it. But the truth is that I am a 23-year-old man and I don't give a fuck about Hello Kitty, okay? The only reason I bought her anything Hello Kitty themed at all, which was once, by the way, was because she frequently expressed interest in it.
Yeah, no shit. This is the Sanrio girl stereotype from Pinterest that everybody was warned about. Yeah, I like Zins. I go through a tin once a day. I have a collection of 500 cans. By the way, I feel like now is a good time to share this information. In case you don't know this, I was the first person to ever give Turkey Tom a Zin. I broke his Zin virginity. He never had one before. VidCon 2023, it was like midnight or something. I gave him a Zin. I had a Zin on me. I gave it to him. I know he smoked No, I wasn't his enabler, actually. I fixed him. I didn't ruin him. He smoked cigarettes like every day. I gave him Zins. He stopped smoking. How about a thank you? So anyway, yeah, just to throw that in here, little fun fact. I'm the reason that he's a Zinner. Romantic? All right. Well, anyway, yeah, Sanrio girls, stay away from them. Very dangerous, very mentally ill. And if it's anything where you're going to interpret him giving the girl something that she's interested in as age play or like age grooming, then you must not understand that these girls are like, you know, in their 20s and like this aesthetic, you know? Have you guys seen the meme where Hello Kitty is not doing Xanax and self-harm? She's baking cookies with her friend. This meme had to be made because so many women who like Hello Kitty were doing the exact opposite of anything Hello Kitty ever did.
She is sending me a photo with a Hello Kitty figurine next to her printer. Here she is sending me a photo with a hand-drawn and colored Hello Kitty image on her wall.
I mean, brother, this is just bright red flags.
Yeah, she made these herself. Here, in regards to her decorating my room, she says, "No Hello Kitty," with a frowny face, and I say, "Correct." And something interesting about these texts is that she shows that she has a poster of the movie Lolita on her wall. I wonder what the movie Lolita could possibly be about. This film is about a middle-aged professor who is sexually attracted to adolescent girls he calls nymphettes. He rents a room in the house of a young widow to get closer to her 14-year-old daughter, Dolores Hayes Lowe.
So it's like Cuties, but instead of the target audience being Sneeko, it's like 20-year-old women.
Whom he calls Lolita. Obsessed with the girl, he eventually gains control over her after he takes her cross-country with him. Rowan even says that I should watch this movie, to which I reply that I feel like it's a movie adult men aren't supposed to see. In this next screenshot, Rowan asks me...
Yeah, it just sounds like Lolly.
If I start dressing like a weird Hello Kitty e-girl, would you still fuck with me? And I replied, "No, I don't want you to do that. I find it kind of repulsive." Here, Rowan is texting me upset that she has to take down all of the Hello Kitties from her dorm room. And this next one is probably the strangest
world is
reference
healing,
to Hello
he
Kitty
goes.
out of all of them. Here, she's sending me a video that says, "Get you a man that takes you to the Hello Kitty hotel." And under it, she writes, "Imagine the rape here." And I say, I will not imagine. Now, with some of the more insane projections and lies out of the way, I'd like to get into some strange details that Rowan also decided to lie about for whatever reason she may have. One thing that a lot of people pointed out that's strange is that Rowan had taken a photo of us matching on Tinder before we met in person.
Yeah, I took a picture of a match because I could kind of tell there was like something weird about this guy. Like, I didn't know if he was famous or whatever. And also, I did that to other people as well on Tinder.
Just like everybody you matched with to like gossip with, like Like girlfriends?
Yeah, like a couple of them. But yeah, he seemed like kind of weird, so yeah.
There's no way. There's no way. Me when I lie. Yeah, I only recognize this guy from his fucking YouTube channel. But, you know, I definitely just thought he looked interesting and weird. Like the kind of guy that you'd want to tell your girlfriends about and yap about for hours a day about biceps. Like women, I'm sorry, do not do that. I don't think they spend hours a day taking screenshots of random guys they've never seen on Tinder to talk about.
Pictures of our match.
She's also stated repeatedly that she's not a very online person multiple times throughout her testimony. But the wild thing about this is Rowan had sent me a message on my YouTube connected Instagram all the way back on February 21st of 2024, 15 months before
You have to do a video on this crazy guy on Twitter. He only has like 3K followers, but this man is a menace. Yeah, okay, so factually wrong.
or matching me on Tinder, where she said, you have to do a video on this crazy guy on Twitter who only has like 3,000 followers, but this man is a menace. I even confronted her about this when we first hung out because I found it very strange that she lied to my face when she first met me and said she didn't know who I was. I said, hey, I looked at our messages on Instagram and saw you DM me over a year ago. Rowan said, oops, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't want to tell you.
This is so funny. We've all done this when you slide in the sunglasses emoji to diffuse awkwardness. Because even though you're like confronting her on a bold-faced lie, you don't want to come across as an evil person.
But I watched one of your videos.
Whoops, I'm sorry. I didn't
ago,
want to
thought
tell
you were
you.
cute.
I thought it would be awkward. I thought it would be awkward if I told you the truth, so I lied.
But I thought it would be awkward. I responded,
Women be like, I thought it would be awkward to be an honest person, so I just didn't do that.
that's okay, I was just surprised. She replied, I know I probably look crazy.
Nah.
I said, I mean a little bit, it's okay. I just wish you told me, that's all. She answered, I
Hey,
didn't
did you
want
kill my family? Sunglasses emoji.
to because I thought it would be weird. I'm sorry. Kind of lied about some stuff. I was like a niche internet micro celebrity on Twitter for a little bit too. I'm chronically online and didn't want to admit it, lol. I've gotten better about it. Once again,
Yeah, so she says I'm not chronically online, but she's also chronically online.
and this is just another detail that it doesn't even make sense to publicly lie about, but it's just one of those things that makes me question her intentions throughout the entire relationship looking back.
Yeah.
Publicly, she's also misrepresented the end of our relationship. In the
I wonder if she was like sent by Pyrocynical to try to ruin his life.
interview, it stated that our breakup took place in December and that after that she realized how bad it was and she felt the need to contact Katie, who we're gonna get into later. This is blatantly untrue. We broke up on January 10th of this year, 2026, and she began posting about me on January 14th, literally days later. She says the breakup was kind of mutual, an idea that is just bitterly ironic because that's not the case. Immediately after I told Rowan that I wanted to break up with her, she began threatening to post about me online and even began attempting to blackmail me into having sex with her again. I don't know what you want me to say to you. I just want to move on from our relationship and have you go be in your corner. You can meet other guys and it'll be fine. I'll go meet other girls. We'll just break. We'll break up.
No, you won't, because I'm gonna make it hard for you to ever be in a relationship.
Why?
Because you don't deserve one.
Why?
Because you're a piece of shit.
Nice.
Why?
Why?
Because our whole relationship, you act like everything is all about you the whole time.
Why?
Okay.
You don't give a fuck. You're just an awful guy, and I'm so sorry that your mom raised you. She seemed like a nice lady, but clearly she did something very wrong.
Wait, you guys hear that little shuffling in the background? You guys hear that audio?
She did something very
Listen.
wrong.
You hear that little like burp after the shuffling? That's him putting in another Zin.
Okay, Rowan, I just want to move on and have my life, and you'll move on and have your life.
I'm pretty sure it's something like 70% of relationships are ended by women. So the 30% that aren't, where the guy actually walks away, I feel like most of the time girls do not do well. They don't handle it that well.
And
We
we can
point
be in our
A.
own corners. We don't have to do damage to each other. We don't have to cause each other any more anguish. Okay.
I just want to see you again, though. Like, do you think we'll ever be able to see each other?
After the way these conversations have gone today, I really don't think so.
Why?
Type.
Because you're like threatening to blackmail me.
I'm not. Well, if you don't come see me, then I will.
If you don't... I mean, can you even make this up? She goes, I'm not blackmailing you, but I will if you don't do this. She's blackmailing him into blackmailing him. If you don't do this thing, which is a blackmail sentence, I'll blackmail you. What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Stated blatantly that I did not want to have sex with her. I didn't want to be with her anymore. I just wanted out of the relationship.
Was the
This is
pussy
something
good at
she was
least?
completely unwilling to accept, and that's why
I mean, we have
after
to
I
ask
stopped
at this
talking to her,
point.
she proceeded to call me over 30 times.
I'll tell you this, the pussy was not worth 700,000 views on a video where he has to talk about his cock for 40 minutes.
And texted me 80 times with no
Ohio impressed.
response.
Wait, what?
Relationship. This is something she was completely unwilling to accept, and that's why after I
juice ain't worth
stopped
the
talking to
squeeze.
her, she proceeded to call me over 30 times
Nice.
and texted me 80 times with
Ohio impressed.
no response.
Also, I need money back. Yeah, women trying to find any excuse to talk about the relationship. I have screenshots talking about this person. Tell your friends in Dallas to hit me up. Holy shit, bro. Oh my god. This girl's so crazy. You literally sit at home all day and have nothing hobbies except for gym and video games and have a high body count. You think you're a high value man. Oh my god. Holy shit. You're mad chopped in the face. I had to look past it. Oh no. Oh my god. You have a lawyer? You can't record without consent? Oh my god, dude. I got a lawyer. Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't.
She is publicly claiming to be a victim of sexual abuse while begging me to fuck her again.
Like, you've done all this, like, weird shit. Like, I don't like it. Like, you're so weird. You treat me badly, especially during sex. And, like, over the phone, I just listed everything that he had done wrong. And he was like, well, you can leave me if you want. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to leave you. That's basically what happened.
But there was no like specific like. Did you guys talk at all?
That's not how I heard it.
Between breaking up and then.
Tom and I?
Yeah.
I don't believe so, because I blocked him.
Even this detail is also so insane. While it is true that once she started to lose her mind, I did stop talking to her, she continued speaking at me, alternating between begging me to forgive her for breaking up with her, saying she wanted to have sex with me again, and sending me psychotic text messages filled with lies that she came up with once I dumped her. Now, with Rowan dealt with, the next person I'd like to address is Clorox Katie. Katie's a girl I had a brief sexual relationship with 2 years ago, and she began posting about me on the same day as Rowan. Now, back when we were hanging out, she flew all the way from California to Maine to hang out with me twice. In the interview, she describes her time with me as the worst experience of her life.
And then you fly back, and how did that go? How long did you stay?
Horrible. That was the worst experience of my life, I think.
And she also took to the forum to make some posts about me. Yes, Tom is extremely harsh during sex. I've been down the kink roads in my life, and how he acts is actually just evil and almost sadistic. Not even kinked up, just actually a Patrick Bateman type gooner. When asked how things between us ended, here is what she had to say. I just truly thought he was a cringe who definitely was going to beat me later if I stayed around. We only had a 2-month fling, but even my insane ass was scared of how he acted, and he was also just stupid. I hated conversation with him. He was just extremely weird to me and also evil as fuck during sex. Naturally, people asked her why she hadn't reported me to the police, and her response was, I thought about the police and looked into it, but again, it being across my own state lines and in Maine, it would have had to been filed there, and I lived on the opposite side of the country, so it just didn't seem feasible. These claims are once again so absurd to me that the best way to dispel them is to just look through our messages together. In these two DMs, you see that Katie comes to visit me for the first time on January 20th and leaves on January 23rd. She comes to visit me, she says she's excited, she then goes home, and after leaving my house the first time, she immediately texted me saying, I had so much fun, Tom, you can kidnap me whenever. I feel so alone in my bed. She then says that she has to come back. Now, days after coming the first time, she sends me nudes. Once again, this is kind of a weird thing to send to somebody that you're claiming is recording sex with you without your consent. Why would you send this person nudes? She then sends me nudes a second time, says she needs it, says I wonder,
is he like taking Viagra or something? Do I have to rip a honey pack? I wonder if that's the method. I have never experimented with any dick boner pills, so maybe I have to get in on that if that's what he's doing, you know? He's just ripping Cialis. I mean, who knows?
Starved, so deprived, and
maybe it's just him just going to the gym. His test is just naturally high, so he's a high sex drive. I don't know.
She says that she misses me so much.
Maybe it's the Zins. Maybe the Zins are making him horny or something. I've heard that. I don't rip them like I used to, but that's possible. I don't remember it being like a big sex enhancer when I was doing them every day.
I say, let's hang out in March. She says, I'm down, but waiting until March will be so hard. On February 1st, Katie says that she misses me. On February 2nd, she slides up on my story and says she is counting down the days until she can see me again. She then says that she needs to see me ASAP, and she misses all the things about me. On February 4th, she says she wishes that she woke up cuddling me. On February 8th, she says she wants to have sex with me again. Once again, this is after the first time we hung out. February 18th, she says she's going to swallow me, and she then sends me naked photos of herself willingly. Keep in mind, once again, she's accusing me of recording sex with her without her consent, and then she keeps sending me naked photos of herself. She even sent me a video, by the way. She says, I need you right meow. I need you ASAP. February 22nd and February 24th, we have I miss you and are you home yet? February 28th, she slides up on my story and says, I'm gonna suck you so good.
To the soy face. Was there not a better photo to slide up on this with?
She then says, I need to see you now more than ever. Lots of hugs and hot sex. On March 2nd, she says, I like you lots. And I
doesn't really sound like the worst time of her life. I'm going to be honest. She sounded like she enjoyed it quite a bit. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it doesn't work out, and all of a sudden the best time of your life becomes the worst time of your life. Sounds like you liked your time in Maine, I'll be honest. Sounds like you were under the Turkey Tom spell, and all of a sudden the spell expired, and all of a sudden I guess there's some historical revisionism going on, It can't just be we move on. Okay, things don't work. We find new guys, new girls, whatever. It has to be, it was the worst time of my life. I don't believe that.
Reciprocate. She says she can't wait to see me again. She then says that she's excited to see me. That
Voids be voiding.
Coming Saturday. In the next screenshot, I say, your pussy's gonna be so sore. And Katie responds with, good thing we had to wait a while because then I can take a beating. She then says, I'm ready for you to throw me around. Now, when we were discussing how many days she would want to stay, she says, as long as you want, and that we'll have so much sex and party so hard. And she then once again expresses how excited she is. On March 7th, she sends me a barrage of unsolicited sexual photos, including her with BDSM leather on her butt. On March 8th, she says all she can think about is me, and she can't wait for my dick to be down her throat. And on March 10th at 7 in the morning, which is 4 a.m. her time, she says that she is so excited to see me that she cannot sleep.
He's now, destroying these women. Like, legit. I didn't mean it like that. I meant like in the marketplace of ideas. He's winning. He's winning, and it's not even close. Whoever believed it? What these accusations? Like, people were really like thinking this would kill Turkey Tom. People were thinking this would be the end of Turkey Tom, and I knew from the jump this was not going to do whatever they thought it would get accomplish. He'd respond with a 40-minute banger like this.
Instagram messages out of the way, we can move on to the text messages. So on March 10th, this is the second visit, right? Prior to getting there, she says that she is starving for me. Now March 15th, this is when she leaves. She says, I still have her toothbrush, but that I have to let her come back. Now, keep in mind, Katie, in her own words, said that this second time visiting me was the worst experience of her entire life.
How long did you say?
Horrible. That was the worst experience of my life, I think.
She basically describes being physically abused in the interview. She even says that while we were having sex, she would ask me to stop doing something, and I wouldn't. But that did not happen. You may also recall her stating that she ended things with me because I was such an insufferable person to be around. She claims that after the second trip, she began to realize she was a victim.
Yeah, and that's kind of like when things really started piecing together to me, that I was like, wait, I think I am a victim right now. Like, something's not right here.
In her words, this is why she stopped talking to me. She says that she was scared of me. She says she was scared that I would beat her. Well, on March 20th, which is after the second visit, she texts me saying, Tom, I really like spending time with you, but I'm kind of worried about if you actually like me or are just using me. Lol. I'm just BPDing, and so I'm tweaking and need reassurance. Are you just having fun with me, or do we have something? To which I respond, well, I like you, and I think you're cool, and perhaps we even have something. However, I would make a bad boyfriend, so I don't really want to date anyone officially, I guess. Yeah. I was abundantly clear with my intentions with her. I did not want anything serious at that time. But apparently, this is the period she began to realize the true extent of my abuse.
Yeah, wait a second. Am I a victim?
Which is probably why, after we had already hung out the second time, Katie tries to arrange a third meeting with me.
If you have to think really hard if you're a victim or not, you're probably not a victim. That's just the general rule of thumb. If you have to brainstorm, and put a bunch of brain power into figuring out if you're a victim, then you're just not. Was I a victim? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. And you're about to explode thinking about it. You're probably not.
She wishes that she was in Ohio, where I was at the time, and I did not reciprocate. After this proposition, she slid up on my Instagram story 12 times over the next 10 months, and I did not slide up on her story once, not a single time. So ask yourself, Do these texts sound like a girl texting a guy that she finds evil and sadistic, a guy that she was even debating going to the police about? Because to me, it seems crystal clear that she enjoyed our time together and even wanted to hang out a third time. You got to keep in mind here, she flew across the entire North American continent twice, from California to Maine, to see me. After the second time, she wanted me to be her boyfriend. I didn't want to, and she then repeatedly made efforts to contact me and hang out with me again. Now,
Oftentimes, when you have a realization about being a victim, you always knew but were afraid to admit it to yourself. She acted like she just had a Jimmy Neutron brain blast about it. Yeah. Exactly. You know, it's something where you kind of know deep down, and then you're like not being honest with yourself because you kind of like parts of it and you don't want to leave. But if you have to literally think, like actually think about it, not be honest about it, but think, you know, use cognitive power, fire off some neurons, then you're just not, dude. And oftentimes, like, there will literally be TikToks where it'll be some woman who just came fresh out of a relationship where she's bitter, and she'll be like, 10 signs that you're being abused but don't know it. 10? There's really 10 signs? Huh, I don't know. I mean, I feel like, you know, getting smacked, you know, in the face for no reason constantly would be a good place to start. But that's not where they start. They have to make these random, like, pseudo-intellectual arguments about interpersonal dynamics that don't make any fucking sense, but they're, you know, their comment sections are full of people agreeing because they feel like if they disagree, then they either sound ignorant or it sounds like they're justifying abuse. That's usually how that goes.
Close off the video, I think I'd like to share some interesting texts that Rowan sent me about her dear friend Katie, as they're both accusing me of, I mean, whatever it is they're even trying to say at this point. After she saw that I was following Katie on Instagram, she messaged me on December 8th saying, "Did you know Clorox Katie tried to fuck Jet Neptune?" Those girls...
He rips another hard style. Is that one of his go-tos?
Saying, "Did you know...
Viva la vida hard style. Everything's gonna be okay." I like that.
Clorox Katie tried to fuck Jet Neptune. Those girls, too, make themselves easy targets with the hair and piercings because they have sexual trauma. She then says, they complain about sexual assault a lot because they will fuck anything that breathes. 1 month and 2 days later...
Oh, that's projection. Isn't that funny?
I broke up with Rowan, and in the middle of her unhinged tirade about me, she told me that she would be messaging as many girls I had been with as possible to try and find whatever dirt she could so that she could run to the internet about it. Now, I've seen a lot of people say things to the effect of, you know, Tom's a hypocrite, he gooned. And you're right, I did goon, okay? I did not stop gooning. So maybe in the end, the hats are more relevant than ever. Anyway, that's about it. I've said everything I need to. Goodbye.
That's the GOAT right there. Amazing. Flawless victory. That's my boy. I like it. I love it. I mean, I don't like it. I don't like that this had to happen, but I think he did a great job. Pretty masterclass handling of the situation. Great response. I'd give it an A+, maybe an S tier response even. I don't know what else there is to say. I mean, good. Hopefully this will result in his next video going super viral, so at least he can get some reparations for having to deal with all this shit.